Marching to the beat of your own drum and leading with strong effervescence and independence with your sovereignty and your knapsack for life, your rucksack for life, what this could mean if you have your midheaven in Aquarius in your birth chart is that you are not one to follow what other people have set out for you to follow, what path they want you to go on. I'm Eva Curdy, and in this video, I'm going to be discussing what it means if you have your midheaven, which is your 10th house career sector, in the sign of Aquarius, in the 11th sign of the zodiac, corresponding to the 11th house in the birth chart. What does this mean when it comes to Aquarius? Well, you would express Aquarian traits in your career life, in your professional life, in your highest calling in the world, because those are some of the things that the midheaven represents. If you want to know more about the midheaven, I have a video here on YouTube all about the midheaven in astrology. You do need to know your time of birth to know the sign of your midheaven. It is one of the angles in the astrological chart. So talking about what this means if you have the midheaven in Aquarius, well, you have a desire, a very, very strong thirst for learning, thirst for knowledge. You have a hunger to really take in as much information as you can, because you're always about learning information. Whatever career that you're getting yourself into, it has to be where you're constantly learning new information, where you're learning as you're going, you're evolving as you go, and you never stop learning. Now, if you have your midheaven in Aquarius, it means that your ascendant is either in Gemini or Taurus. Those are the possibilities for the midheaven in Aquarius. You also want to look at your natal Saturn sign and your natal Uranus sign and the houses of those planets and the aspects made to those planets in your birth chart, because those are the rulers of Aquarius. Saturn is the ancient ruler, the original ruler of Aquarius, and Uranus is the modern ruler of this sign. So you want to look to both of those planets to really understand this at a much deeper level, to really understand the full scoop, the full story of what this could mean if you have this placement. So a trait that's very, very common with a midheaven and Aquarius is they are not one to just go along with the status quo in life. They always crave the unconventional, the unknown, the unheard of, the unusual, the eccentric, because they're all about breaking the mold of society, of how the systems and structures of things that have been in society, and they want to just dissolve that like soda, and they want to move into new directions, which are new for humanity as a whole. Now, Aquarius is a fixed sign, so they're very, very strong with their principles, but it is an air sign, so Aquarius people, Aquarius midheaven people, come off as being very open-minded, open to hearing many different sides of the situation, open to learning through whatever medium that they're learning from. There is a deep desire here to deeply understand things that they're learning about. Not shallow, not surface level. They want to get to the root core of it. They want to get to the bottom of it, get to the heart of the matter, and really understand the thing on a deep level. Kind of like Scorpio, kind of like a Scorpio midheaven. So they want to also be in a career or be in a job where they are allowed and they are encouraged to express their creative gifts, either through writing, either through music, either through art, whatever it is. They have a lot of creative energy of bombs bursting in the air, of all the creative lights going on in their minds, where they have a lot of spectrums to sort of walk upon, where they have all this creative energy that they don't want to hold and bottle in, but they need to express that in healthy ways. That is what is being called for somebody who has their midheaven in Aquarius to put themselves into. Now, they're also a sign, Aquarius is a sign which also deals with experimenting, trying new things out, tampering, tinkering with certain things to see if things will work, if things will not work. They have to be allowed to experiment, try new things, make a mess, do all those kind of things like that, sort of like creating your spells and how you put several things in a blender and you see how it turns out. If you like the taste of it or do you like the consistency of it, you're seeing as you go. So, you want to be with people that inspire you to be your authentic, unique self. This is very, very important if you have your midheaven Aquarius. They need to balance their need for knowledge, their need for adventure, their need to explore with their connections with others and maintaining their relationships at the same time. Where these two things can be different is where they need to bring them into balance. So, they want their professional environment to be unique, to not be the standard type of vibe or the type of environment that you typically would find with the professional life. Something unusual, something out of the box. Now, Aquarius is all about change, so it's very likely that at several points in your life you will change your career, maybe job hop to many different types of careers, trying this one out, trying that one out for a good period of time, not staying in one career for your whole lifetime or for up until your second Saturn return, for instance, from your first Saturn return. So that would be 28 to 30, 58 to 60. So you want to be independent. It's very, very important for you to be independent on your own path, marching to the beat of your own drum, doing your own thing, working for yourself, being your own person, being your own boss. This is what this really comes down to. Now, you may fall into the temptation and the trap of rebelling just for the sake of, I want to break the rules, instead of for a good, solid reason, for a cause, for a deeper intention behind why you are rebelling. So you want a career that is very innovative and very future oriented because Aquarius midheavens are here to be the futurist, to break us out of the traditional, the systems that we know the world to be, to move into new forms, to move into new energies, maybe even light codes, and possibly where they can be, ahead of their time. Think of trends, set trends, start new things, initiate new things, do all those kind of things. And so their path in life is not straightforward, sort of veers in many different directions. It's very unusual. They want to have their career life, which is not their traditional career life in their life. They value originality and progressive thinking. That is paramount. That they can excel at any career involving humanitarianism. Aquarius rules technology of any kind, so they can do well in that field. Science, I know that July 26th of 2026 is supposed to be the rebirth of science, because that is when the North Node will back up into Aquarius. And that's going to be a very, very huge day for humanity, where science will be put into, you know, new forms of science. Things will be revolutionizing more quickly, and there'll be more inventions coming out with that North Node in Aquarius. So, you want to really, really keep an eye on that time period because that could be pivotal for humanity. But so anyway, um, science, engineering, you could also excel at teaching, which could be very, very good for you. Any career in psychology or sociology would be good for you. You are also good at analyzing things. You want to really take things and break them down into steps and really look at the minutia, the little details of things. And just see what needs fixing, what needs changing, what needs evolving, and what can stay the same. They want to evolve humanity. They want to grow and change humanity. Now, in their life, they may have conflicts with authority figures. This could be very, very big. Because Aquarius is about rebelling against authority. Dissolve the Saturnian structures. It dissolves those shoes in the maker shiftings. It dissolves every conventional top-down structure that is, because Capricorn is the top-down structure. It's rich people at the top, poor people at the bottom. And so they could be anyone who is in a position of authority with the traditional authority. They could run into conflicts with that, could run into arguments with that. Now they can be also seen as being very fun and magnanimous to be around. They like to share the information that they have learned. They like to shock people with the surprising information of, did you know this happened in this place? Did you know that the bacon was in the room? Did you know that the horses went home to milk? These kind of things that are very, very shocking, that are unexpected. They just want to put that like a bolt of lightning, shock people with the information. So not a whole lot shocks them, because they're just so open to the unusual, and they're open to the unconventionality, the unpredictability of life. So, um, human rights could also, fighting for causes could be very, very good for them. Humanitarian efforts and things. So this could have you changing and moving into new unexpected directions. So this could be very, very huge for you. You can be ahead of your time. You're thinking ahead of your time. You may be seen as a maverick or someone who does not get along with how society functions, does not go along with how it operates. So you want to be the independent one. You want to be the black sheep. You want to be um the person that goes out of the box, or everybody stays in the box, in the conventionality. You want to have your career life as original and different from everyone else, generally, broadly. So you're unafraid to challenge the status quo. Um, you are also very respected for your intellect, also. You want to make lasting change in the world. Your ambitions are aligned with the ideals of equality and freedom. That's what you seek, is you seek to honor those two ideals. You want to come off as intelligent if you have this placement. Um, you could also handle intricate problems, finding the solutions to problems, finding innovative solutions to problems. You want other people to be intelligent. You don't want them to be petty or, not very wise. You want them to be either at your level or above your level, like-minded, that kind of thing. So it's very important for you to understand that the way that you learn is not in alignment with how other people learn, because everyone learns their own way. So having patience, having understanding, holding space, and having empathy for how other people learn will be very, very important for you in this lifetime. So you do want to consider that. So, you want to align with, do your pursuits, do your goals and ambitions align with your true soul calling, align with what you truly want and crave and need on a soul level, what your aspirations are. You're willing to take risks. You're very courageous. You want to change and evolve, especially humanity. You're easily able to shine in the spotlight because you surprisingly put the focus on yourself when you need to really shine and be very huge as a figure. There's a very, very strong urge with this placement to break free. So you're unafraid to express your feelings and thoughts. You do not want to be in a career where any position dims your light, any position keeps you small, keeps you stuck in the same old rut. where you can't express yourself. You need to break out of that career and find a career where you can express yourself fully and be your authentic self. So there is a very, very strong need here to be surrounded by like-minded individuals. That's very huge. You want to break the mold. That's what you want to do in your life. You're very fun and welcoming. You easily energize others in the room. You're very social. You have a high networking ability. You're good at networking. You enjoy networking with others. You may be unreliable and prone to make impulsive choices. You may not be the most aspect where people can count on you. And your choices are not always thought out. So, you're very approachable and you're good at gaining the trust of others. You want to do things your own way and you're unafraid to challenge others while doing so. You know how to get others to understand and appreciate your style of fashion, also how you dress, how you present yourself. And so the good thing about Aquarius energy is that it's very objective. It looks at things from a higher perspective, sees the logic out of things, sees the facts and figures, rather than getting caught up in the emotions. So that's where you can really excel at this life. And you can teach others to do the same. That's what you're stepping into in this life. And so you're very charitable. You wish to selflessly serve others. That's something very, very huge with this being in charity work. You're very humanitarian by nature. You're all about boosting the self-esteem of people and bringing positive and forming positive relationships with others. And you can do very, very well in activism. I think I already mentioned that. So, that is all I have for you on the Midheaven in the zodiac sign of Aquarius. After the next video I'm going to do will be the weekly astrology. If you're watching this on the day that video is getting published, the next video I will make will be the weekly astrology for the week of July. Let's see here. So today is the 16th, July 20th through the 26th, I believe. So July 20th through 26th. Look for that video talking about the weekly astrology. The next Midheaven video I will do will be on the Midheaven in Pisces, and then I'll start with Mercury placement in the birth chart, talking about what Mercury means in astrology as well. So, if you found this video helpful in any way, please like it, please share it, subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any videos, and bye for now.